On a clear afternoon in December 1945, 5 Navy bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale for a routine overwater navigation training flight. Within a few hours, the pilots reported malfunctioning compasses and severe disorientation. Then the radio went dead. All 5 aircraft and their 14 crewmen vanished without sending a single distress signal. The military immediately deployed a massive PBM Mariner flying boat to search the flight path. 20 minutes after takeoff, that rescue plane also disappeared. No debris, no oil slicks, and no bodies were ever recovered. 62 years of aviation history offered no clear precedent for 27 men and 6 aircraft evaporating into thin air on the same day. If we look at a map of the Western Atlantic, this specific geographic region is bound by 3 distinct points. Drawing a line from Miami, Florida, up to Bermuda, down to Puerto Rico, and back, outlines an expanse roughly 500,000 square miles in size. Over the last century, this quadrant has claimed hundreds of vessels. Everything from private recreational yachts to massive commercial freighters have sailed into these waters and seemingly dropped off the face of the Earth. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive naval collier nearly 500 feet long and carrying 306 passengers and crew, was traveling through this region. It sank without a trace, leaving behind no wreckage and offering no explanation. It remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. naval history. The sheer volume of missing tonnage forces a difficult question. We must determine if this specific region of the Atlantic contains genuine fatal anomalies, or if this reputation is an illusion built on missing data and selective memory. Without physical wreckage to examine, investigators could not determine the cause of these sinking ships and falling planes. That silence created an information vacuum, and human imagination rushed in to fill it. By the 1970s, media outlets had branded the region. The silence of the missing crews was replaced by loud theories of alien abductions. Pulp magazines published speculative articles about magnetic time portals and advanced destructive energy crystals left over from the lost city of Atlantis. Society embraced these explanations. An exciting supernatural story of extraterrestrial intervention is simply easier to digest than the quiet, terrifying reality of sailors drowning in the dark. The legend offered a reason for the loss, even if the reason defied physics. The physical evidence tells a different story. The Atlantic Ocean off the southeastern coast of the United States contains a highly specific combination of extreme oceanographic hazards. This animated thermal map highlights the Gulf Stream. It is a massive, rapid ocean current that flows directly through the triangle. Moving up to 6 miles per hour, the Gulf Stream acts like a localized conveyor belt. When a ship sinks or a plane crashes, this current quickly sweeps the debris miles away from the initial distress location, making the resulting search efforts nearly impossible. The geography also makes this region a magnet for hurricanes. Warm waters fuel violent storm systems, and the area is highly prone to sudden microbursts, intense, localized downdrafts of sinking air that can easily force a low-flying aircraft into the sea within seconds. Beneath the surface storms, the intersecting ocean currents create the perfect conditions for rogue waves. These are freak walls of water, sometimes reaching over 80 feet tall, capable of snapping large commercial vessels in half entirely without warning. Furthermore, Christopher Columbus documented highly erratic compass readings when sailing through these waters in 1492. In this specific region, true north and magnetic north frequently align. Before digital navigation, this localized compass variation caused seasoned pilots and captains to miscalculate their trajectories, veering hundreds of miles off course into deep, unpatrolled waters. No sea monsters are required to explain the losses here. The extreme currents, volatile weather, and localized navigational quirks combine to form a highly efficient engine for destroying lost vessels and hiding the evidence. Marine experts, specifically researchers at NOAA and the U.S. Coast Guard, have meticulously tracked the frequency of disappearances across the globe to identify high-risk zones. This global scatterplot illustrates the raw number of wrecks. At first glance, the Bermuda Triangle cluster appears incredibly dense. However, this misses the vital context of maritime logistics. This region encompasses one of the most heavily trafficked commercial and recreational shipping lanes on Earth. Watch what happens when we divide those disappearances by the total volume of daily ship traffic. This normalized bar chart shows that the actual percentage of ships lost in the triangle is equal to, and in some years lower than, other highly trafficked regions like the English Channel or the South China Sea. The math is unambiguous. There is zero statistical evidence that the Bermuda Triangle is more dangerous than any other heavily traveled ocean region. We can test this conclusion by looking at the present day. If the ocean here possesses supernatural qualities, we must ask why modern passenger planes and massive cruise ships cross this exact airspace and water every single day without incident. The disappearances stopped because our tools evolved. The global positioning system, advanced satellite tracking, and real-time predictive weather forecasting have given navigators perfect situational awareness. By providing exact coordinates and early storm warnings, technology eliminated the true historical killers of the Atlantic, navigational human error, and blind encounters with volatile weather. A pilot today will not be led off course by a magnetic compass variation. The Bermuda Triangle did not suddenly stop existing. Instead, generations of modern engineering simply outsmarted its natural hazards. Today, the region is fully demystified. The ocean floors are mapped, the weather systems are decoded, and the shipping lanes are tracked by an array of satellites. There is no physical room left for the supernatural to operate, yet the legend survives intact. We hold on to the myth because a story about a cursed ocean is thrilling, while the reality of a confused pilot running out of fuel in the dark is merely tragic. The enduring legacy of the Bermuda Triangle is no longer a mystery about the ocean. It is a reflection of humanity's stubborn desire to believe in the unknown, and a powerful reminder of how easily we can create legends out of silence.